Hello and a very warm welcome to Tickety Boo Reviews. Today we're going to be looking at the Faith Venus Bloodmoon versus the Taylor 114CE. Which will come out on top and be victorious? Well, stick around to find out our verdict, coming up next.
Right, well today we are reviewing two absolutely beautiful guitars, both around the same price point.
I would think this is a very good comparison video. I love Taylors, I love how they play, I love how they feel, I particularly love how they sound. But to be honest with you, I saw this and I was blown away with just how much guitar you could get for the money.
So we'll pick the guitars up now and we'll just go through the features and we'll give you kind of like a head-to-head of what you're actually going to get for your money. Like I say, these are...
like a scoring system.
Yeah, these are similar price point, but this is just slightly more.
I think it's just slightly more. Yeah.
We'll give you links down below to you so you can actually see the guitars and all the specs.
Yeah.
So we'll pick them up now and have a look.
Right, where we're starting from? Should we start from the headstock?
Yeah.
It looks to me like I've got mother of pearl inlay for the name at the top of the headstock, Faith.
Yeah, this is just seems to be more like
an embossed printing.
An embossed printing, really. Yeah, like you say, just a standard logo, isn't it?
Okay, so moving off of the logo, I can see a slight bit of figuring in this. It is hard to see, but you can see a little bit of figuring running through. But it's quite dark, so it's a bit. It looks like from a distance like a piano black finish on the headstock, whereas on this you can see that it's got quite a sizable cap.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
On the top of that, mahogany neck, but it's got quite a nice cap. I would say I would lean towards saying that's rosewood. Okay, moving down slightly to tuners. I've got the gold tuners,
and these seem like you're just kind of like standard chrome tuners, but they're very nice, solid structure to them. You know.
Yeah, they're not
cheap.
They're not branded though, are they?
No, they're not branded. No.
They're not. As you know, some higher end Taylors, they've got the Taylor embossed on the back. They've got but these, to be honest, they do look just like a standard tuner.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm quite happy to report on the Faith, it's actually got the Grover tuners.
Grovers are really nice.
And they've also got ebony buttons on.
Oh yeah, lovely.
And quickly on that, within the pack with the guitar, these tuners are also under guarantee, so if anything breaks on them, they will send out replacements for you.
So they're not? So this one's made out of tusk?
That is tusk, yeah. These, the nut and the saddle, are tusk.
Right.
They're standard on this guitar. While around the neck area as well, the truss rod cover, I've got a lovely bit of figured.
It's going to be ebony, isn't it?
It's going to be the ebony, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be ebony.
And it's beautiful. It's nicely machined, no sharp edges or anything. Whereas on the Taylor, it's scratchy plastic.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's a bit. Well, it's cheap.
It's cheap.
It is cheap.
It is cheap. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in no way are we slating Taylor. As I said, I love Taylor. What we're trying to show and demonstrate in this video is just how much guitar you're getting with this Faith. So if we just move down slightly then, and going on to the necks, what they're made from. They're both mahogany. That does actually, it's a satin finish. There is a finish on there, as there is here. It's not plain wood.
It's not as smooth though.
No.
It doesn't feel anywhere near as smooth, but then again, this is worn in as well.
It has been used.
It's been well played.
So again, it's good. A point each there. There's no sticky lacquer to get your hands stuck on as you're trying to play. And you get sweaty and stuff.
These really are both really nice instruments.
This is a figured Macassan ebony fretboard, and again, it does take a good eye to see, and in lighter conditions you'll see, but it has actually got a nice sort of figuring, a couple of stripes running up there. This is an ebony fretboard as well on the Taylor, so there's a point each there. Aesthetically, the Faith gets a point over the Taylor here because it's just a plain black fretboard.
Yeah.
Just to mention quickly as well, we're in no way affiliated to any of these products. We're not biased in any way
No.
Again, to stress, we're just trying to show you just how much guitar you're getting in these Faiths compared to other top name brands. The Taylor's got dot inlays for the fretboard markers, as you can see. On the Faith, we've got one at the 12th fret, which is quite stylish looking. It's the same as the Faith capital F at the name of the guitar brand. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
This is mother of pearl, whereas these are plastic.
Yeah.
Again, to try and make it sound good on the website, they've actually put that it's Italian acrylic dots. It sounds fancy.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Acrylic is plastic. And Italian, whether it's made in Italy, France, Belgium, Spain.
Or Sheffield, it doesn't really matter. It's plastic.
Plastic.
Yeah.
If we just quickly turn around the rear of the neck, I've got a lovely ebony finished piece here. It's quite a chunk. It's about 4 mil, possibly 4 or 5 mil thick. Just a nice finish on the corner of the neck there. Whereas again, on the Taylor, it's plastic. The materials used as well. This is Javanese Trembesi, which is
the body, the front.
This is the front, back and side. It's all solid. As you can see, there's no joins even in the back there. The grain of the wood is
binding as well.
Yeah, the wood is
really
fantastic.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
Lovely grain, and it's a breed of mahogany which is native to the island of Java in Indonesia. So it's a very rare wood, really. Similar to koa, which I believe grows in Hawaii.
Okay.
And I know that koa, just quickly off topic here, but I know that koa, they're not allowed to chop that down to use for guitars. They've got to wait for the wood to fall from the tree. Because it's such a rare timber, and that's why it's so expensive to buy koa guitars generally. Which is maybe one of the reasons why it's expensive to buy a koa Taylor.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same story with the Javanese Trembesi, but I would assume that if it only grows in Indonesia, well in Java, that it's quite a rare timber as well. So you're getting a very exotic wood for such a cheap price, really. But what's this made out of, Rob?
So this is a sick to spruce top.
Yeah.
Laminated sapele back and sides.
Yeah.
Which, like, obviously laminated wood, it's not really a solid. It's not a solid wood at all. But it makes it stronger like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's like a crossweave, isn't it? You put one piece that way, one piece that way, then another piece that way, and due to that, it gets its strength. So it's actually stronger than some of the solid wood Taylors you can buy, and due to that, it's actually not braced. If you just look at the back of the guitar, because of the strength of the lamination, if you actually turn it over, it's got a small bolt to the back. Whereas obviously this one is just a slight bolt to it, but it's near enough flat. So your rosette then?
So yeah, my rosette looks, well, it looks like it's plastic again. I can't really see it. Well, it looks like it's got a little bit of a ridge on it. Kind of looks a little bit like a transfer, but I'm pretty sure it won't be. But still, very nice design.
So mine's 5 mil actually in thickness. It's abalone. It looks fantastic.
It does, yeah.
It's really nice. It reflects the light beautifully.
So this is not lacquered?
No, that's just, it's a satin finish.
Yeah. So satin finish throughout the neck, the body, the sides, everything.
Yeah.
Whereas yours is a satin neck, but it stops there, doesn't it?
It does. The rest of it is lacquered. And some argue that it does have a difference in tone. I was at a Taylor Guitars Roadshow a couple of years ago, and the gentleman from Taylor was explaining that people spend a lot more money on the high-end guitars. They're lacquered to protect their investment, but he did admit that without them being lacquered, the wood's got more room to vibrate and move and breathe. If we move down then from that, we come to the bridge.
Yes.
Mine is Macassan figured ebony bridge again with tusk saddle.
And what are your bridge pins made out of?
The bridge pins are also made out of ebony, and they've got a lovely abalone dot on each one with a lovely little gold ring around them. It's just a really classic finish. I love them. They're one of my favourite features of the guitar actually, I really like them. And the look on them as well. This is Moccasin ebony, it's got a lovely striping in it. That's ebony as well, and it's just black, same as the neck. To look at again, it looks
like it's been painted.
It looks plastic, it looks
Yeah,
cheap and nasty in my opinion.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not taking anything away from Taylor or the sound of this guitar because it's fantastic, but judging as aesthetics, again, it's just a bit cheap and nasty looking really. And we'll stick on this bit and we'll just go on to binding. I've got lovely flame maple binding. You've got, guess what?
Plastic.
Black plastic.
Yeah.
Black plastic.
Is it Italian plastic? Because that makes all the
Could be
difference.
Italian acrylic.
Yeah,
black.
because that makes all the difference. It's well made. It doesn't look shabby or doesn't look. It just doesn't look as nice.
No, it's not. This is a lovely figured maple binding. That's black plastic. These guitars are very similarly priced. From what you've gathered now, quick sort of rig rundown as it were.
Yeah.
You've got mother of pearl against an embossed sort of stuck-on logo.
Yeah.
You've got a lovely ebony
Truss rod cover.
plastic,
Machine heads gold.
machine head gold Grovers
Gold Grovers.
with ebony tuning pegs.
Standard chrome tuning pegs.
And then we come to the fret inlays, mother of pearl, Italian acrylic, rosette, abalone,
Italian acrylic.
quickly down to the bridge, a lovely figured Moccasin ebony bridge.
Ebony again, but just you can just, if you get in the
You can
right
see
light,
grain.
you can see the grain, but it just looks like it's been painted over, doesn't it? It just looks like it looks standard.
Wooden bridge pins with abalone dots and gold circles.
Plastic.
Binding, flame maple.
Italian acrylic. It could be plastic. I'm just playing.
The fretboards are both ebony. That's a stroke each.
Yeah.
Necks, mahogany. That's a stroke each.
Both satin. Stroke each.
Solid Javanese trem Bessie. Front, back, and sides. A lovely grain.
Sicta spruce top. Laminated Sapele back and sides.
So just quickly before going to preamps, you can see just from the materials that these things are made out that this is a whole world apart from this guitar.
Yeah.
In regards to the materials and components that it's got on it, which is why it struck my eye because, as I've said, a big Taylor fan, big Core Taylor series fan, thought, well, I can't get my hands on a Core. What are all these about? You know.
One thing I will say about the Taylor and the Faith is the neck size.
Yes, that's a good point.
It's a chunky neck on a Faith.
But the playability on it, it's very comfortable to play. So don't be put off if you've got fairly small hands, because it is still a very comfortable guitar to play. I can do everything on this guitar that I can do on this guitar. Absolutely no problem at all. One thing I did have to do once I got this, I actually had to get a specially designed capo for the thicker neck because my other regular capo I used for the Taylor kept popping off. So there was a small investment there to be made due to the size of the neck.
Yeah. Right, yes. So, does this have a tuner, Phil?
No, it doesn't have a tuner, so if we're talking about these particular preamps, on the Taylor we've got a bass, a high, and then a volume. So it's a very simple preamp to use, and it does have actually a phase switch inside the sound hole, which is a little bit hard to access, to be honest. I wish they'd have put it in a slightly easier, more accessible place. But if you're having them feedback issues live, you can just reach in your guitar, just stops that feedback, which is kind of a nice,
Nice feature. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Going on to the preamp of this, it's a Fishman Inc. 3, and it also has the Fishman undersaddle pickup. This is also an undersaddle pickup. But on this we've got bass, middle and treble with a volume, and it also has a built-in tuner, which is nice. I also like the access to the battery as well. It's literally,
Oh yeah.
you know, you don't have to tight clips or anything like that. It's just swing it round and you're in. I prefer where the input of the Taylor into the button, strap button, whereas on the Faith it's actually behind. Another thing I prefer with the Taylor is the marking. Let me expand on that a moment. With this being a lovely lacquered finish, your bare arms are obviously pressing on there, you're sweating, you're playing, it's constantly marked, so you're constantly cleaning it, whereas that, you don't have to. So we've obviously sort of focused on some negatives of the Taylor compared to this, but I'm actually going to focus on another negative to this guitar, and that is when you're performing and you're in this position, you're on stage and stuff. This tuner that you've got, onboard tuner, as good as it is, I think they've positioned the preamp in the wrong position. It needs to be a bit more on shoulder up here, and that's because, as you know, when you're playing, your tuner's pointing out that way.
Oh yeah.
The position of this, I don't know if you can make that out on the camera there, but the position of this tuner is pointing away from you. So if you're tuning up, I know it's only a small gripe, but if you're tuning up, you sort of leaning around to be able to see your notes. But of course, as you're doing that, you're trying to reach up here for your tuning pegs as well to tune. So for me, another little small gripe is, Faith, if you ever watch this, just move them up a little bit so it's easier to see when you're tuning up. Another gripe, when we first got unboxed this guitar and we got this guitar, loved it. Again, watch the unboxing video to see that.
Yeah.
However, the strings that came on its standard were quite dull. The quality of the strings don't match the quality of the guitar. So one of the first things we did is change the strings, and it's playing like an absolute dream now. It's beautiful to play. It's got a set of 11s on, so I just want to demonstrate some intonation really.
Right.
So this is with the elixirs on, and you can tell just from strumming that chord it just rings.
Yeah.
The sustain's it's still going.
Yeah.
And you're only hearing this incidentally off a little camera mic.
Yeah.
There's no sort of special mics in the room, unfortunately. Down the bottom of the neck, come up here to the 12th fret, and intonation's superb. Everywhere across the neck, it's brilliant. Your sustain's fantastic.
Yeah.
It really is, you know. But what we'll do is we'll just quickly show you the Taylor.
Much louder.
So it's got a nice rich sound. This is it with Taylors. This is what I mean when I was in the guitar shop and you've got that, it's just... intonation again. 12th fret.
Beautiful.
It just rings out as much as
it does,
the 5th.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Completely different tones though.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Got this in your past. When you believe in this, you don't understand, you will suffer. Superstition ain't the way.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we really hope you've enjoyed watching our Taylor versus Faith review, and really hope you found it useful.
Yeah, and please, if you've got any questions on either guitar, please post in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I've been Rob Humphries.
And I've been Phil Nicholson.
And we're Tickety Boo.
See you next time.